What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of the Stand Up Guys podcast, episode 18 to be exact. This is, of course, a podcast where we gather around, we bring random topics of conversation, current events, and weird news stories from the week to the table, and we'll go ahead and see if we can't make something funny and or entertaining out of it. I'm your host, the incomparable Zach Jones. Joining me in this endeavor is the Dustin Hoffman to my Tom Cruise, Lester Jones.
Yeah. Rain Man. Quick, count how many? No.
42.
All right, and rounding out the panel, we got the Ninth Wonder, Chocolate Thunder, eating that poon, never stopping too soon, the clit licking, never quitting, having fun, making pussies run, the phenomenal one, A.J. Singh.
Hello, everyone. I didn't know you had that written down. That's
Well, I don't want to forget them. You know, I'm getting a lot of them, so yeah, I started writing them down just so I wouldn't lose them.
It's called Pussy Intro 1.
I had to name it something. All right, before we get started here, everyone, if you would go ahead, give us a like, subscribe, comment. I'm telling you, man, we don't get enough comments or views for that matter, but
not that we want to come off as needy.
Yeah, come on.
Please.
Give us some charity. Oh, yeah, and positive review on iTunes and everywhere you enjoy your podcasts. Help that algorithm. And guys, where can the people find you on the Twitter?
Yep, I am at a name for this, and that's the number 2 at the end of it. So a name for this 2.
It sounded like you forgot your Twitter handle.
Yeah, I did.
I'm at unsolicited SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. Guys, any good stories from the week, or you watch anything good?
I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Still Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, it's all right.
How far are you along?
Just like 4 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
Yeah, I wish I had more interesting stories, but this is one of those weeks where it's just like work and work meetings and getting ready for the old DMV and just boring adult shit, you know?
Well, I got a hug from a homeless lady.
Ooh, tell us more.
Just a hug?
So she was in the bank in our building, and then like she comes out and she comes up and she's talking very quietly, and I'm like, I'm trying to be helpful, but I can't really understand her. And then like the bank people come out behind her and they're like, oh yeah, she's being nuts or whatever. But then she goes over by our door and she's just like kind of posts out there. And finally, like I go over there and I tell her that, you know, she's going to have to go. And so she gets all her stuff together, and then like she decides she has to give me a hug. I'm just like, this is weird.
That was nice of her.
How hot was she?
Well, the thing was, she was young, and she seemed like she must have like mental or like a drug issue. So I did feel kind of bad. Like when homeless people are assholes, like I don't feel much for them. But yeah, when it's just somebody who's just like messed up, you feel kind of bad about that stuff.
What would you do? Like, let's say it was a really nice person, and like they wanted to give you a hug, but they literally look like Pigpen off of Peanuts. They're just like a big old fucking cloud of dirt on them. Would you like be like, okay, I'll take the hug and then go wash up, or would you be like, no, get away?
I mean, maybe. The whole thing for me working security is like just de-escalate everything. Just like you don't want a bunch of bullshit. Just quietly take care of stuff and like move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the hug. I wouldn't know what to say either. I'd just be like,
Yeah.
"That's okay. It's okay. No, don't worry about it."
Yeah, it was like one of those. She got me in like a really awkward position. She's like, "Okay, let's have a hug." Then I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
She's gonna
sorry."
sue you for sexual harassment.
But yeah, she was out of. Well, like also when she was by the door in the lobby, she'd actually called 911, and she's trying to get police to come out to like force them to give her account information or something. And then she was like telling them like, one of the people in the bank told her they were going to blow it up and just like being crazy. I was like, oh. But yeah, you meet a lot of crazy stuff down there.
Yeah, they need help.
All right, guys, should we get into the meat of the show? AJ, as tradition dictates, we'll start with you.
All right. This reminded me of you guys, so I thought I'd pull it up. A man who crashed his car into a Montana grocery store and fled the scene was later arrested after running nude through a nearby retirement home, police said. Yep, this sounds like a very
the most
Florida
excitement in their day in a while.
The suspect was transported to a local hospital for non-injury medical issues on Thursday and expected to be booked after he is medically cleared. Columbia Falls Police Chief Clint Peters said his department will identify the suspect when he is booked into jail. Peters said he expects the man will face numerous charges, the Daily Interlake reported. Witnesses described the driver as approximately 40 to 50 years old with dark hair and a mustache or beard. The man is accused of driving through the front door of a Super One Foods in Columbia Falls Thursday night and continuing to drive through the store before turning around and driving out the way he entered. No one was injured in the grocery store. Oh, it's loading. I hate when that happens. So nobody was injured. I just walked through the side doors when he crashed through the front doors, Natasha Woolworth said. He went through the store and someone said he chased a guy down an aisle. It was very scary and just awful. The driver...
Getting chased by a naked person.
I mean, was he after this guy the whole time? The driver had fled the scene by the time authorities arrived. The suspect's vehicle, a white 1995 Chevrolet Lumina, was found later crashed into a trailer across the highway. The driver fled the scene on foot. Shortly after discovering the vehicle, police received a report of a nude male running down the hallway in a retirement home that was adjacent to the abandoned vehicle. Officers found the man about one block west of the home and detained him. Employees at the retirement home said they were able to identify the man and said that he had a relationship with a resident. It was determined after a short investigation that the nude man was the driver of the vehicle that crashed into the Super One Foods. The police report says the male showed signs of drug impairment at the time of his arrest. Well, that's no surprise.
So just fair warning, if I was a police officer, anytime there's a nude encounter, you might get shot.
No hugs?
I do not want to deal with this. Yeah, especially if you come in for a hug, you might just you might take one.
By the way, Columbia Falls, where this story takes place, isn't like super duper far away from where we grew up. And we actually do have like a couple relatives that live there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so thanks for blacking out any names.
The Jones people say that.
Because Columbia Falls is just like the other side of Kalispell, right?
I don't remember exactly.
It's not super duper far from there.
I always feel embarrassed when I don't remember the geography of the region, but
yeah,
then it's been like 2 decades, so I don't know. Your brain goes.
This just proves that crystal meth is very prevalent.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly like prevalent in like the breadbasket and all these places like out in the country. You're just like, what are they doing? And like they're just taking.
Yeah, it's gotten everywhere. It's here too. I had a guy one time
everywhere.
Yeah, one time I was on a date and I was by the car and this guy just rode up on his bike and he was like, "Hey, you guys want some ice?" And I was like, "No, thanks." And then he kind of rode off. He's like, "Just got to feed my daughter," I was like, "I'm not gonna call the cops."
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You don't like dealing with it, but at the same time, I don't know. All right, so. This week, like Ed Norton was blowing up Twitter. Did either of you see this?
No.
Yeah, so he had this post about how like his.
I'm going to read it, but
oh, okay, yeah. Basically, his dad was a lawyer or something, and then he played poker, and he kind of like put what Trump's doing in those kind of terms or something. But go ahead.
Right. So I'm just going to read this out, but. Basically put things in kind of a perspective that I could finally actually be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. It's like there's a certain order to the universe again to like what Trump's doing. Because it seems just so crazy. And like the only thing I could think of is just like he's trying to take over the world or something crazy. But yeah, you should hear some of the stuff in this thing. So this is like 5 or 6 tweets, so it's going to take a second. I'm no political pundit, but I grew up with a dad who was a federal prosecutor, and he taught me a lot. And I've also sat a fair amount of poker with serious players, and I'll say this. I do not think Trump is trying to make his base happy or laying the groundwork for his own network, or that chaos is what he loves. The core of it is that he knows he's in deep, multidimensional legal jeopardy, and this defines his every action. We're seeing 1, a tactical delay of the transition to buy time for cover-up and evidence suppression. 2, above all, a desperate endgame, which is to create enough chaos and anxiety about peaceful transfer of power and fear of irreparable damage to the system that he can cut a Nixon-style deal in exchange for finally conceding. But he doesn't have the cards. His bluff, after the flop, has been called in court. His turn card bluff will be an escalation, and his river card bluff could be really ugly. But they have to be called. We cannot let this mobster bully the USA into a deal to save his ass by threatening our democracy. That is his play. But he's got junk in his hand, so call him. I will allow that he's also a whiny, sulky, petulant, grinchy, vindictive little 10-ply super soft bitch. Now this is a good insult. 10-ply super soft bitch. Like if I was fighting with someone, they called me that, I'd be like, I'm damaged. I can't come back now.
I'd just be like, wow, that's soft.
Yeah, that was a good one, buddy. God damn. Who no doubt is just throwing a wicked pout fest and trying to give a tiny hand middle finger to the whole country for pure spite, without a single thought for the dead and dying. But his contemptible, treasonous, seditious assault on the stability of our political compact isn't about 2024, personal enrichment, or anything else other than trying to use chaos and threat to the foundation of the system as leverage to trade for a safe exit. Call his bluff. Faith in the strength of our sacred institutions and founding principles is severely stretched, but they will hold. They will. He's leaving, graceless and in infamy, but if we trade for it, give him some brokered settlement, we'll be vulnerable to his return. We cannot flinch. So, I mean, the idea that he's doing all this is just like, as a whole, they're like maneuvering for legal issues makes a lot more sense to me than anything else I've heard in the news.
Yeah, I could see that. And there was talk about Mike Pence essentially like pardoning him, like after, like right before his election is up. I guess he resigns, Mike Pence takes over and then pardons him.
That would be a sweet play.
That'd be crazy.
Be like Pence is president for like 10 days or something. Just long enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope he doesn't get pardoned.
Do you guys think there's any conceivable way that, Trump actually spends a day in jail? I don't think so.
It's hard to imagine any president not being pardoned, even if he's like a huge piece of shit. I mean, that's what I see. I don't know. Yeah,
because I feel like even just from an optics point of view, they wouldn't allow it because they don't want any former president to be in jail or I just
I think it might be a good precedent.
Yeah,
I know it would be great. Show that literally no one is above the law, but they are. So
yeah, I'm a pessimist. So like, I want him to go to jail. I hope he goes to jail, but
yeah,
I just think like this guy gets away with everything. He'll get away with this too.
Teflon Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all walk away unscathed.
Yeah.
But I did read that thread by Norton, and definitely interesting.
Yeah,
it makes me like him more.
Yeah, I just thought it was smart. It was like a better perspective than I've been hearing. So it like actually felt like it had some, intelligence behind it.
It probably is, more his motivation than trying to create some sort of authoritarian regime is just trying to get out of legal trouble,
trying to escape. Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of Nixonian deal either. Even though he's trying to say they shouldn't do that, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if that would ended up happening.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. As long as he gets out, I'll probably feel okay about it, I guess.
All right, was that everything on that one?
Yeah.
So I got to think, how a couple weeks ago you showed us that gross video of that guy sticking his head in a woman's vagina.
Right.
His whole head.
It got me thinking because
How much does that cost?
now, mind you, I don't watch pornography. I sometimes peruse the erotic arts because I'm classy,
I tried to stick to the high end channels like that one.
But I was just curious. Do you guys have any stories where you maybe started a video but bailed on it because it went in a direction you didn't expect? I have an example because this sticks in my mind, even though it happened many, many years ago. So I want to say the description of the video was something like wacky Japanese compilation or something. And I was like, all right. Yeah, I was like, all right, let's see how those wacky Japanese do it. And I swear to God, probably not even a minute into this video, this woman had stuck a, it was almost like a beer bong type apparatus, in her ass. The tube that goes up to the
Smoke
spout,
them if you got
the funnel type of thing. And there was a guy walking towards her, I fucking kid you not, with a bowl full of live eels. And I was like, fuck no. I was like, I need to get out of here before I have to testify to a crime. I'm like, fuck. I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't want to know where this goes.
So there's a pipe and a bowl of eels.
Yeah, and I was like, this is too wacky for my taste. Wow. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Jeez. Wacky is a great word. Yeah.
But do you guys have any stories like that where you started something? You started something and you're like, holy shit, I did not expect this turn.
Yeah, I one time watched porn bloopers, and I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, this lady was she was doing anal, and she goes, stop, and the guy stops, and then a couple seconds later, a poop just slips out of her ass.
That's a blooper.
I was like, oh man, I can't. Okay.
They did have a funny slide whistle sound effect. I think I saw one of the label blooper too, where man, this poor cameraman, he came on. He was filming it, and it went too far, and it got on him, and he was
Was he a trooper? Did he go through with it, or did
you just say I'd make a face and walk off?
Damn, I must have had some distance. Or is he right up in there?
I don't remember what the position was. I just remember it got on him, and yeah, it was a bad day for him.
You think that's got to be the best job in the world?
Man, another question for you guys. Actually, first of all, do you have a story like this?
I don't know. Like back in the VHS days, you get one and it'd be a bunch of scenes together, and they're one came on, and the chick is there, whatever, and then Ron Jeremy shows up.
Oh yeah.
And he is a nasty fat sack of shit. I'm like, oh god.
Isn't he in jail now on multiple?
Yeah, he had a bunch of rape charges. Yeah, so
underage girls too. I mean, if you're Ron Jeremy, is it?
Yeah, I mean, just still being fat and gross, and people are paying you to have sex. So I don't know.
Can't get laid.
And then my other question is, have you guys ever seen any porn thumbnails that made you laugh? I have an example of one where, I don't know if you guys remember this. Many years ago, there was a movie that came out called Precious, which was this, morbidly obese, black teenage girl and her hardship stories. Or what. I never watched the movie, but I must have watched an Oscars or some sort of an award show that year. And the thing is that was based on a book. So every time they read the nomination, they had to say Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. And I remember because they said it all the time. Apparently that was in a contract or something. It was always every time it was nominated, it wasn't just Precious, it was Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. Anyway, so a little while after that, I saw this thumbnail. There was like this poor, skinny white guy and like this 300-pound black woman on top of him. And you just like see his like skinny little legs poking out. And the caption was based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
That's the day I broke my mouse.
I was like, well played, internet. Well played. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like something like that.
No, nothing like
Nothing's
that.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, that made me laugh. But yeah, that video you made us watch got me to thinking like this.
I've always seen those like animation, like cartoon porns that they always show, like advertisements for like Stewie Griffin or Brian Griffin.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
The
Also.
rule, what is it, 34? Something like that.
Oh yeah, that like
If something exists, it exists in porn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
It's got to be close to true.
Anyway, that was my silly topic. So AJ, I'll hand it back over to you.
All right. This one is very long, so bear with me. Ex-QAnon woman who destroyed a Target mass display now rebuilding her life. The night before she almost ruined her life, Melissa Rain couldn't sleep. Or Melissa Rain Lively couldn't sleep, that's her name. She had gotten into a fight with her husband, Jared, and though they had never spent more than a few nights apart during their 9.5-year marriage, they both needed space. It had been a difficult few months, so here she was, alone in a hotel room on the night before July 4th, her favorite holiday, one she and Jared traditionally spent in Greece. She felt trapped and she couldn't sleep. Every few minutes I was gasping for air. I couldn't slow my mind down. My thoughts were racing. It was like a panic attack on steroids, Lively recalled. I should have checked myself into a hospital voluntarily. Instead, she went to Target the next morning to buy a bottle of Fiji water, as if everything were normal. It wasn't. The Scottsdale, Arizona-based PR professional, a self-described Type A personality, had spent the pandemic barely eating, barely sleeping, barely socializing with friends. Instead, I was all consumed with doom scrolling on the internet. I was living in these conspiracy theories. All of this fear porn that I was consuming online was just feeding my depression and anxiety. She had found comfort in QAnon, a loose collection of conspiracy theories that touch on everything from politics to COVID-19. En route to grab the water, she'd noticed a display of masks, the ones to help prevent the coronavirus. The culmination of everything I had experienced, like all that energy, just zeroed in on the masks. I had just snapped, she said. She took videos of what happened next and streamed them on Instagram Live. They quickly spread to other platforms reported on by publications such as USA Today. She was labeled a Karen and far worse. She thought her career was over. She thought her marriage was over. She thought her life was over. There's an old bit of advice that the end of a story should be surprising yet inevitable. The Target incident almost perfectly encapsulates that adage, save for one important detail. Lively is adamant it wasn't an ending. For 15 years, the 35-year-old worked to put people in their best light, to put them in a pedestal. Now she's her own client. She has embarked on something of a media tour to tell her side of the story and is penning a memoir titled "You Can't Cancel Me: The Story of My Life." She's hoping to rehabilitate her image. Yes, this article, of course, is part of that effort. She also wants to help others who might find themselves in the same spiral. So there's videos of her. She's talking about how she like talks to Donald Trump, and there's also mentioned that she went to like natural medicines and like spiritual websites, and she found QAnon conspiracy theories there. So that's how she got hooked. Let's see. So in one video, she's telling the police that she's a QAnon spokesperson, explains that she has been on the phone with President Donald Trump all the time. They detain her and bring her to a nearby psychiatric facility as she yells, "You're doing this to me because I'm Jewish." So yeah, I mean, she had a breakdown, and she got caught up in QAnon conspiracy theories and then got famous online for breaking down the store. So, I mean, that tells you about QAnon, though. They're like targeting weak people in like every realm, spiritual medicine and like, stuff like that, like natural medicine websites. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because you get a ton of people believe crazy stuff, and
normally I'd be like, you know what, cancel her because she's crazy, but you know what? She's had this whole experience. She's gone back and seen that it's, wild and that she was in the wrong, and that she's trying to rehabilitate herself and get help. So I don't know. I think good for her for trying. She got caught up in some spider web of like lies and stuff, but now she's doing better. So I wouldn't cancel her.
I feel like you got to be like really open to suggestion to be able to, fall for that QAnon stuff, because it's so out there that like you got to really have a unique personality type. It seems like to believe in it.
I mean, it's like you say, there's certain people probably more susceptible, but at the same time, like I feel, like I've read a fair amount of conspiracy stuff and whatever, but I feel like it gives you at least the insight to kind of question things, but also to say, whatever I'm reading might be bullshit at any given time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's certain conspiracy, like if somebody tells me they believe there was a second shooter with Kennedy, I'm like, oh, I don't find that person, insane. But when they believe that, that Hillary Clinton's running a pedophile ring under a, pizza place, I'm like, that's, a little bit more out there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, they almost always have like some like plausible element to a good conspiracy theory. And some of them, like if they're big enough, you almost can't believe them just because there's no actual evidence. So I don't know. That's kind of the breaking point. Is there some kind of evidence or not? Because a lot of them, like they'll form a narrative, and you're like, well, this seems like it fits.
I feel like these are the kind of people that can end up in cults.
Well, the thing is too, like I don't know if she was young or not, but a lot of young people,
35.
Yeah, you should have yourself straightened out a little more than that by 35. But like, you're very susceptible to like whoever brings like the first ideas to the door that are starting to come in, and that I think you see a lot of that in religion and stuff. But yeah, I think there's definitely a window where you're very susceptible to things.
I mean, I kind of get like it's like religion, like. Some religions are so big that you're like, how could so many people be wrong?
That's another thing when you're young. You're like, it's like, it's not possible that like half the world is stupid.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, that doesn't seem like a good number.
So you just like, you have faith. You're like, okay, all these people.
They must just know something I don't know.
But what's amazing is the first people that get in on this.
Yeah.
Like, if you're the first like 3 people to hear about QAnon, and you join, I mean, there's something about you that I think you are susceptible to cults then.
Yeah. I mean, some people are just crazy, so.
I mean, I really do believe like the difference between a cult and a religion is really just the number of members.
Yeah.
Like you get enough people to buy into it.
You have to break the threshold, yeah.
Yeah. That's basically it. If you become like it's like mom and pop versus corporation. If you become a corporation, you're a religion,
I feel like you have to come on strong enough. You have to come out with like a full like Bible. You need a book, and like once you put that whole book out there, like people will line up.
Do you think anyone could ever seduce you into joining a cult? I think I'm just too just
Penelope
skeptical.
Cruz.
Penelope Cruz again.
There's a sex cult that I'd like to tell you about. You tell me about that. Actually, wasn't there something recently about a sex cult?
Yeah, it's that Nexium or whatever.
Yeah. So
that guy's getting like multiple life sentences or something. So was it worth it for all the sex? I don't think so. Unless you're like a sex camel, you just think about all the sex you had while you're in
What if he's bisexual? Now he's going to another sex.
He's getting free sex for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Just when you think you got me. I'm converting people like there's no tomorrow.
He gets like more life sentences in prison.
But yeah, the QAnon stuff, it is crazy like how many people do believe in it and follow it. It's definitely an interesting study of like, sociological study, I guess, of people. But all right, anything else on that topic, guys?
I mean, I don't.
All right, we'll move on to you.
So just kind of a note on the corona. So they're kind of anticipating Pfizer is getting approval probably in December, and they'll start shipping. and they're hoping for herd immunity by like May. So, I mean, that's kind of it'd be nice to be done with this.
What's herd immunity?
That's when enough people are vaccinated and immune that the people who aren't are relatively unlikely to catch anything just because everyone around them is safe anyway. So, but yeah, there's that coming. And then I guess there's been like a big outbreak in El Paso. They've been paying inmates $2 an hour to take bodies to the morgues. Just like the thing with like inmates, like to get them to leave and work outside, basically, I think they have to volunteer. And so that's like the going rate to get out of a jail is $2 an hour to go move dead fucking virus infested bodies. Yeah. It's like, how bad do you want to get out of this fucking jail just for like a few hours?
Yeah.
Just fucking
I bet they got guys signing up for it though.
Yeah, the thing was, it was probably like, we'll pay you $1.50, and they're like, not quite enough. Let's try for $2.
But $2 is a lot for them, right? Because they get like 5 cents an hour. And
yeah. Some like the regular labor shit, they don't get fucking anything. Yeah, cents on the dollar. So $2,
which is bullshit.
Money.
We should pay them like normal people if they're doing jobs.
Yeah, I mean, if you think even if they made like minimum wage doing like fucking road work or something, that at least they could have something when they got out and not be so fucking like in such a shitty position.
Exactly. You could be a 100,000-aire by the time you get out of a 20-year deal.
Right, you could have something, yeah.
Yeah, something to get your life going again.
Yeah.
And you know what? That would probably actually help, a lot of those guys not return to crime.
Because you have a decent transition strategy.
I mean, that's what happens a lot is it's for an ex-con, it's a pain in the ass to get a job a lot of the times.
Well, yeah, you get out, you're broke, you don't have anything, and then like it's on your record, so no one wants to hire you, and it's just it's a fucking struggle.
What do you guys think of that whole? Because I have heard some politicians saying we should get rid of that thing where, like, when you apply for a job, you have to disclose whether you're an ex-con or not. Now, do you think that would be a good idea? Because like, I definitely like the job I'm doing now. Like, obviously, I'm seeing a million people's social security numbers every day. If I was a piece of shit, I could really do some damage. So like if there's somebody who was in prison for identity theft, you would want to know, right? If they were applying for this kind of job.
Yeah, I mean, there are times you would want to know, probably. I mean, obviously employers do want to know because they screen on it.
But, I see the other side where, like, that is keeping people that, went to prison down.
Yeah, and paid their debt.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm on the side of, like, erasing all that stuff,
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, a pedophile or something.
Well, yeah, you couldn't have, like, a pedophile working at a preschool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and they're going to be on the sex offender list anyway. But.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm fine with them getting a second chance at everything and not having to go through that.
Yeah.
All right. Was that everything on that topic?
Yeah.
So I have a hypothetical for you. Would you guys rather know and speak fluently every language in the world or know how to play every musical instrument?
I would rather know every language.
Yeah.
See, that was when I first read this, that was my first go-to. But then I'm like, well, what's the pros and cons of each one? Because, like, I feel like you could make money, really good money, with either one of them. And I just think playing an instrument would be funner than, knowing how to play instruments would be funner than speaking languages. I mean, it would be super cool to be able to go anywhere on earth and speak the language. And I'm sure you could make good money being an interpreter as well. But, yeah, I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, wouldn't making music be funner?
Well, I mean, I think if you could just master the...
Was this a skin flute joke?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow, you really are
The
brothers.
international language. Like, you won't have any problems. God damn it! I hate when I can't talk.
Called that one. You know, we have a guy, kind of a friend of the family. You know, Claude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was like, you know, he was in the military for years. And like, my dad is like wondering if he was like legitimately like a spy or something. Cause like, I think he was like, what is his nationality? Like Dutch or something? Like, he's
Yes.
from
Yeah, originally.
somewhere over there. But anyway, he spoke like a lot of languages fluently. And like, he told this story where like, you know, he worked for the military and like, they literally once, you know, had to blindfold and put like a bag on his head. They brought him to a place. He interpreted, you know, between two parties. But like he couldn't know where they took him, like for security purposes or whatever. Like he couldn't know where he was going. And like, it's kind of a crazy story.
Yeah, that is.
That makes
Yeah,
sense
that's like
to
a
me.
spy thriller. Like,
Yeah.
but you'd have to be fucking pretty nervous. Fucking getting a bag over your head and driven out the.
I know.
somewhere.
I was like, am I going to do this interpretation job and then they're just going to cap me? Yeah, I'd be fucking nervous.
Yeah, I heard Indian people help with the military when it comes to translating in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised, but apparently a lot of Afghani people speak like a language similar to Hindi.
Right.
So, yeah, they do that. I've never done it.
But yeah, I think I would go with the, you know, music. Just, that'd be awesome to be able to like, play guitar and then go to whatever. I think it'd be fun and cool.
Yeah, music would be cool. I think they're both awesome. I just think, I don't know, for me personally, just knowing how to talk to different people in different languages just sounds cool. You can go anywhere in the world and be like right at home.
Then again, like maybe it's because of like that topic we talked about last week where I just don't really have an urge to travel all that much.
Or talk to people.
Yeah.
Well, I do wish I was better at talking to people, but yeah.
But I feel like even like being up on like what people are thinking, you know, you could like read Chinese language news and know like, oh, okay, that's what they're really thinking, you know, like not the version that they're putting out for us and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it'd definitely be cool either way. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that was my topic. So, AJ, I'll hand it back to you.
All right. Tesla launches $250 tequila in the U.S., and it runs out in hours. Okay, so Tesla Incorporated Chief Executive Officer Elon Musk made good on his promise to sell Tesla tequila 2 years after teasing the plan in a tweet, and the $250 bottles quickly flew off the shelf. Pictures revealed a sleek lightning bolt-shaped bottle, a lot different from what Musk teased when he touted the tequila. The Silicon Valley billionaire is no stranger to selling quirky products in limited one-time sales. He sold flamethrowers at $500 a piece in early 2018.
I missed out on that.
Raising $10 million for his high-speed tunnel venture, the Boring Company. Musk also sold 50,000 Boring Company hats previously. He tweeted the idea of Tesla Tequila on April Fool's Day in 2018, which many of his followers consider to be a joke. However, Musk's effort to trademark the drink in October of that year were frowned upon by Mexico's tequila producers. Mexico's Tequila Regulatory Council had at the time argued the name Tesla Tequila evokes the word tequila, and tequila is a protected word. According to the website, Tesla Tequila will be available only in selected U.S. states, including New York, California, and Washington. The website describes the drink produced by Nosotros Tequila as agave tequila añejo, aged in French oak barrels, featuring a dry fruit and light vanilla nose with a balanced cinnamon pepper finish. I mean,
so basically, it was a one-off to make a few bucks.
Yeah.
He does seem like he'll do about anything as long as it's profitable.
Yeah.
Like he does some weird stuff every once in a while, but
I mean, I guess it's like a collector's edition if you buy it, because they're only making it once and stuff. $250 isn't, it's a lot for tequila, but.
Man, maybe we should get into the tequila business, because do you guys know, like, a couple years ago, like, George Clooney he owned a tequila company, and I want to say he sold it for, like, an insane amount, like billions of dollars.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of famous people are doing alcohol, like spirits and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the land. I mean, up here, I would think probably Applejack or something. I don't know.
I want to say, like, Puff Daddy makes an insane amount because he has an interest in an alcohol company. I don't know if it's tequila, but I remember hearing a story that like he like a couple years ago he was like the highest paid hip hop star, but it wasn't because of the music; it was because of his alcohol company.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah,
I forgot there was some like rocker who got a big brand of vodka that's fairly famous now.
I want to say Ryan Reynolds has a tequila company too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's weird, but apparently makes money. People drinking tequila.
Hey, bad times. People need their alcohol,
Yeah.
I don't drink, but don't you say that you don't like tequila, or is it?
Yeah, I'm not fond of tequila, but
I like tequila. Just some lime, salt, and tequila is good to go.
Apparently a lot of people do like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like it.
All right, what do we got next there?
Here's just a quick headline. Chris Christie calls the conduct of Trump's legal team a national embarrassment. After he finished deriding them, he said, "Now watch me shove this entire turkey up my ass."
Yeah, Chris Christie talking bad about them is pretty rich.
Yeah. I don't know how that guy's still around. Jesus Christ.
Mostly because of them. I don't know why he's... the rats are jumping off the ship now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's actually one of those guys that should get that weight loss surgery because he's really big.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like... You wouldn't be surprised if you heard that he went in the night.
Yeah. Man, did you see... I retweeted it like, I don't know, a week or so ago. There was a guy, I think he maybe is some sort of politician, but he got into a Twitter dispute with just like a regular person, and then
That's always a good choice.
He tweeted like, as a black man, I actually like Trump or something,
yeah.
but he's a white guy, and like apparently he must have a burner account that he frequently does that with, but he forgot to switch to the burner account. I was like, that's pretty great.
Yeah. We found Trump's black supporters. Shit.
This white guy.
Hey, wasn't there a story where like this time around Trump actually got a higher percentage of the black and Hispanic vote than he did in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, I know like in Florida and stuff, because the Cubans, they're not super hot on the socialism. So they kind of go more Republican.
But also like Hispanics in Texas and black males. He got 15% of them, I believe, which is surprising. It's like double what he got last time.
Yeah, that is a little surprising.
And they think it's because of like misogyny. They think like, they relate to him on that level.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's,
Wait, so they're like, we can get behind a guy that's shitty to women?
Yeah, basically, which is amazing. They're like, I see a little bit of myself in that guy, Like, you got to be pretty misogynistic to be like that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to chalk it up to that.
I really wish there was a progressive candidate that was a little more like Trump, like not an asshole, but was willing to like aggressively, put out his positions and even go against like corporate Democrats and say like, hey, we should have a civil war in the Democratic Party because these guys fucking suck and they're not looking out for you. Like I would love it if there was just like a plain talking progressive guy that like was charismatic and could really, because I think he would win. I think
you don't really see that strategy too often, but every once in a while you get somebody who's like goes straight. I think Jesse Ventura did that a bit, but then later he kind of tipped to a little more crazy.
Oh, he's fucking he's crazy.
But he had a lot of support, and like they were like, he's aggressive, he's a straight shooter.
He's entertaining, but that guy never met a conspiracy theory he didn't love.
Well, didn't he have a conspiracy show for a while?
He did. Yeah. I think it was called Conspiracy
That's when it started getting crazy because he was governor before that, right?
Yeah, like Minnesota.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And Minnesota seems like a pretty level-headed place. I'm surprised they.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I bet The Rock could be the governor tomorrow.
Oh, he could be president.
He could be president. Yeah, definitely, easily, he could.
I'd vote for him. I think so. I don't know what he stands for, but
Well, actually, I think he claims to be like in the middle, like kind of an independent. But he did put out a video, supporting Biden because Trump's such a piece of shit. But yeah, I think he is, puts himself out there as kind of a moderate independent. But
yeah.
All right, was that it for that topic? Chris Christie topic?
Oh yeah, that was just a short joke.
Okay, another hypothetical for you. What would you do if your only options were to live in jail for the rest of your life or die now?
Well, I'd at least give prison a shot and then like kill myself there later if I, if I found it untenable. Like you could at least make a play in jail. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, what if I'm jumping out of the boat too soon?
So you would still have the option in your back pocket.
Yeah, but then go to prison, write a book, fucking I don't know, do something.
But then how do you kill yourself in prison? Hanging?
Yeah, that's harder.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would be easy, but I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, but if you could just shoot yourself in the head now,
right?
Go out quick.
Threaten to take out everybody in Epstein's black book, and then I just hang myself later.
Of course, you never know. Maybe you can, make the most of prison. Make it. I don't know.
Yeah, some people do. One Russian guy, he came up with like exercise, some sort of calisthenics to do in prison that can extend your life by like 20 years. And
that's what you want to do is live longer.
He got out early.
Well, maybe I should jump into this other topic because it's about anti-aging. Because we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a new study I saw popped up. There's a couple Israeli scientists, and they've been testing people in hyperbolic chambers. So they're at 2 times like normal atmospheric pressure, which I'm guessing is ocean level. I don't know. But then they just sit in there, and they breathe pure oxygen. I believe it was pure oxygen. And so they studied 35 people. They were all over the age of 64. So they had 60 sessions in 3 months. And so one of the main metrics for determining aging is called telomeres, which is like part of your goddamn, I'm blanking. But it's your cellular makeup and stuff. So if they know these are shortening, like you're closer to dying.
All right.
But so like they had a large percentage of the people who did this that they actually lengthened. So they think they were all biologically younger by this metric. So I don't know. It seems like they're doing a lot of research in this stuff. It's just kind of interesting. Some of these things are popping up.
So like if you spent a couple hours each day in one of these chambers, with pure oxygen, it could potentially extend your life.
Right. They said that this has been more successful than some of the other stuff they've observed so far. But I don't think it said how long the sessions were, but it said 60 sessions in 3 months. So that's 20 sessions a month. So that's probably like 5 days a week. They were doing this. So I don't know.
Even if that worked, though, it doesn't seem like that would be a tenable solution for the whole population.
Well, I mean, what if you just set up like a new age treatment centers, and you could be a business, I mean, we have so many different things. You have like freaking isolation chambers and stuff. You go and float tanks, and you got these cryo chambers. I mean, it's just another like new age thing. You could go pay and sit in there or something. But having one for home use, you'd probably have to have quite a bit of money to set up something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would depend. If you had to actually do it, 5 times a week to actually get a good benefit, I don't know if a lot of people would go for it.
I mean, well, if you just go and sit in there, you're on your phone, you're reading a book. I mean, you're just basically just sitting there, chilling out.
It's like being on the couch.
I mean, what if there was like one across the highway at the mall or something? Like, what if you had one close by?
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't cost an arm and a leg, and it wasn't too big of a thing, and
I mean, yeah, if it was
if
just
it would
a
add,
subscription,
years to your life.
But I mean, I don't know how much it costs to sit around and just breathe pure oxygen for an hour or something. So,
didn't they wasn't that like a hipster thing for a while? Is they had like oxygen bars?
Yeah.
yeah, and I think you still see that in like some Asian cities that have like a lot of pollution. You just go in there and you can like breathe air. It's like, damn, just gotta get some of that good air for a bit.
Spaceballs.
I know, like some of those Asian places, you like see the air and it's just like white and you can't see through it. It's just like, ugh, God, how do they live in that shit?
Yeah,
India's got it really bad.
that shit's got to take some years off your life.
Yeah.
They actually say even in America, living in a big city like this, will do that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Houston was like that.
I've heard that like if you work in a basement, where you don't get a lot of sunlight, that'll take 10 years off your life. Just crap like that. Like there's all these little things, man.
I don't get enough sunlight.
Yeah, I don't get a ton, but I mean I do get out at work though and walk around and get some air and get some sun, so that's one nice thing.
Yeah, I actually just started taking vitamin D because they say coronavirus, it's a good protection against that. And just they say most people, don't get the amount of vitamin D they're supposed to get. So, all right, AJ, I think it's back to your turn.
All right, let's see
Yeah,
what we got here.
I kind of skipped.
Well, we kind of went back and forth because my topic led yours. But
Okay, we got the nude Montana guy, the Tesla tequila, the QAnon person. Okay, North Korea's military may be training dolphins. U.S. Naval Institute new evidence suggests North Korea is training elite dolphins for military use, such as clearing mines and attacking enemy frogmen. According to satellite imagery obtained by the nonprofit United States Naval Institute, the country, which boasts a military nuclear weapons program, appears to be training the marine animals as part of its naval force, say experts. There are also reports that Russian Navy has a military marine mammal program. The images shared by the U.S. Naval Institute allegedly show animal pens floating in waters between a shipyard and a coal landing dock. According to the organization, USNI is a non-profit organization not directly affiliated with the U.S. Navy and does not receive any government funding. The USNI says the images show the program in North Korea likely dates from 2015 and is probably part of a modernization program process across the country's military. A base near the alleged animal pens in the image began development in 2016. USNI says USNI admits the pens in the images could also be used for some sort of fish farm being run by the armed forces. However, it says the pens in the images are different from fish farm pens. I thought dolphins were used in World War II or something, like a long time ago.
I mean, I think there have been different attempts to use animals in warfare, but I don't really know any details.
I got a question. What the hell is a frogman?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Do you know?
Well,
is that
the
like
thing is,
divers or what?
Yeah, it seems like I've heard that before of like maybe a special set of troops or something, but I don't know the context, I guess.
I mean, you don't stand a chance against a dolphin. They're going to find you.
You train some orcas to kill people.
I do got to say, I find it funny because it said the thing about like, setting off mines or whatever. I like the idea they like go into this place and there's a bunch of like, depth charges or something. They're like, release the dolphins. And they're just all these dolphins being blown up.
Oh, that sucks. Hope not.
Oh, man.
Aquaman's working with North Korea.
Man's best friend.
Do you think in this day and age we'll ever see a war where there's like naval ship battles, like ship against ship, submarine type shit? I just can't imagine it.
I mean, if you have a big war, you're going to be, land, sky, and water, probably all of it.
Yeah.
I feel like the Navy these days is mostly just to like back up the Air Force. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they do carry them, right? Whatever, right? But no, having the biggest naval fleet is definitely a big one.
Yeah, especially in the was it South China Sea or
like
whatever?
South Pacific and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's still everybody's clamoring for submarines in that region, South Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still valid everything.
Yeah.
I saw something recently where there was I want to say it was an English general who said something like 20-30% of the troops could be robots in like 10 years.
Surprised to hear that from the English. Maybe they're talking about American troops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the full context. That just popped in my brain because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have sophisticated drones, do you even really need a lot of shit on the ground and in the seas? I don't.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like we're gonna create things that are much better than people. I mean, they probably already have in a number of cases. It's just about production.
In that Armenian-Azerbaijani conflict, Azerbaijan dominated because of unmanned drones that they got from Turkey.
Yeah, drones are serious business.
Yeah. They showed tanks like parked somewhere and getting blown up.
Yeah, I mean, in those kind of battles, it's hard to say a tank is going to be a great thing, especially if you're really good at finding them, and then you can just take them out. So, and they're expensive, so
yeah.
So maybe owning the skies is the big one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best weapon that the U.S. has right now is those drones. They're the most advanced drones.
All right, you want to go again?
So I don't know if you guys followed, but the 2020 Music Awards are coming up here. And
Wait, just music awards?
Well,
not like Grammys or.
I don't know. I wrote down music awards.
Okay.
But so due to COVID, there are going to be some special guidelines to follow this year. And so if you'd like to watch the 2020 Music Awards, you should just do the world a favor and go kill yourself. In a related story, also due to COVID, there's going to be some special rules for the 2020 Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade. Also that you should kill yourself. That's it on that one.
Not a fan of the music shows, huh?
I don't know. I think most of those award shows are stupid. I'm just not big on the music
I
stuff.
agree with that. Most
of them are terribly done. Like, I haven't watched an actual award show in a long time, but yeah, most of them just are not very entertaining.
Yeah. You're already making money off the music. You don't need an award.
I mean, I don't watch them, but again, it's like the thing that usually gets followed up with and people pay attention to after the fact is just like who hosted and did they fucking eat their ass or did they, do a good job?
Yeah.
And a lot of those award shows, the hosts, they come out and do 10 minutes at the beginning and then you barely see them again. It's not even like a really, big job. But,
right.
Well, and every once in a while they'll cut to them while they're like introducing someone else. I don't know. Yeah, most of those shows just.
Yeah, they're boring.
Most of them are boring.
Yeah.
It's like, let's watch these guys jerk themselves off. Oh, okay.
Exactly
I don't have anything else to do today, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, as far as parades go, like I've never had an interest in watching parades on a television. But if I could watch like a big parade, like the Macy's parade, like in person, I think I might find that more interesting.
Yeah, it might be interesting.
Yeah, being in a very like lively place where people are celebrating together, that'd be fun to be a part of. I mean, New York, that's where to do it. Like if they had like this alien parade in McMinnville.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is lame. I'll probably go again. I don't know, but
I mean, it's okay to have little lame things.
Yeah, but I think big parades in New York and stuff. That's something that you got to see once at least.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I always like the little hometown parades when we were kids, and it's just like fucking people driving by in their tractors and
throwing candy at you.
They throw you some candy, and you're like, yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah, it's fun when you're a kid. Yeah.
So.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so I'm going to read this, but then I'm going to make some changes to it because otherwise it would be too easy. So the question is, would you accept a $30,000 a week job offer where you get paid to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 8 hours a day? So like, obviously I know what the first thing you guys are going to say is like, yeah, I'll just make that the time when I sleep. and I'll make 30,000 while I sleep. So I'm going to say instead of sitting in a room for 8 hours, you have to stand in that room. That way you can't be sleeping. And then also you're going to say, okay, I'll do it until I build up, a couple $1 million, and then I'll stop. So I'm going to say you have to commit. If you do this, you have to commit to 20 years. And if you don't fulfill the 20 years, you obviously you stop, getting payment, but also like you have to pay back what you've already earned. And if you don't, you go to debtor's prison. So like there's some stakes here.
I mean, can you get days off? Can you?
Yeah, let's say you get the weekend off. So it's a Monday through Friday job, 8 hours standing in pitch black.
But can you like call in sick or something? Is it like a normal job where you can do that stuff, or?
I mean, okay, let's say you build up your normal sick time like a regular job, but there's limits. You're not going to get infinite sick days.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't go to debtor's prison because you got sick one day or something, that's fine.
Oh no, not like that. The debtor's prison thing would only kick in if you ended the 20 years early and you spent money from what you were getting that you can't pay back. So I just wanted there to be a consequence there so that if you do it, you can't give up.
Yeah, I think I'd do it.
Can you do squats and jerk off all day?
Are people watching you do this?
I mean, technically it says do nothing. So I think you're just kind of meditating. I'll give the caveat that you can sit down, you just can't fall asleep.
Okay.
I mean, if you could train yourself to meditate for 8 hours a day, that's pretty extensive. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could try it, and like you said, if you call it off, you go to prison.
Well, what I'm saying is so they're paying you $30,000 a week. If you call it off, you got to pay back whatever they paid you. So if you save it, you can just pay it back, and you won't be going to debtor's prison. But if you're spending it as you go, when you give up, you have to automatically give back whatever you can, and if there's some left over, then you got to go to debtor's prison.
Yeah, I would do this job. I would do it.
I might attempt it with the knowledge that I could quit if I just.
So you'd to start out with just don't spend the money and see if you could actually do it.
Yeah,
that's probably how I would go too. But yeah, it would be rough. Just 8 hours in the pitch black.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
Yeah.
That actually, you might go crazy because solitary confinement makes people crazy, and that's essentially what it would be.
Well, I mean, you could get out and you could still go have 4 or 5 hours in the sunshine, live your life.
Yeah, I mean, you'd still get some time to live your life, but...
I mean, if you could just sit there and write a book in your head and then just get off and bang it out in a couple of hours and then...
Man, you'd have to have some good recall, but yeah.
I don't know. I would try it, but it's hard to imagine sticking with it.
Yeah, especially for 20 years. But, okay. Yeah, that was just a silly one. I knew if I didn't put those qualifiers on it, it'd be just yeah, I'll do it, and I'll sleep for those 8 hours, and I'll get paid $30,000 a week to do it. Okay, AJ, we'll send it on back to you.
Okay. I think I've just got one topic left. Yeah. All right. So I read about this one. And so what happened was a lady in the UK, she catfished a guy with her sister's pictures. So they talked for a few months, and she even got the guy to move into her town. So after all this, she has a sit down with her sister and that guy and confesses everything. This is what happened. I used your pictures, this and that. And, her sister was freaked out. The guy was freaked out, but whatever. But then the guy and the sister ran into each other at a supermarket or something, and they exchanged numbers and actually ended up hooking up.
Oh, that's got to be fucked up for the catfish.
Yeah, exactly. So now they're actually getting married. So it's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years. And they're getting married, and the mother told the pretty sister, the one who was used, whose pictures were used.
Right. So she was quite a bit better looking than.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know, but she told her that she should make her sister the maid of honor at the wedding, and that she should be like the godmother to the child. She's already the godmother to her first child, an 8-year-old, but yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on that relationship, but that is
I mean, she feels weird about it.
You gotta feel. You would think like there would at least be a very awkward phase in there.
There's so many.
I mean, after 5 years, maybe you could bury the hatchet, but
yeah, still
how
awkward.
like demoralized would you be that you did that to yourself?
Yeah, and plus the sister who dated that guy, like. That's a big decision to actually date that guy now that all this has happened.
Yeah.
And your sister liked him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, obviously he found you physically attractive already, so you broke down that barrier.
Exactly. It's easy to date him now. But I don't know, like, who's in the wrong? Like, okay, obviously the sister who used the picture of her older sister was wrong in the first place. But then after that, the sister still dates the guy knowing that her sister liked him, so I mean, like, that's kind of messed up too. And now she's marrying him, and I don't know. There's too many wrongs in this one.
Let me ask you guys something. Let's say someone catfishes you, and like
he's got a catfish story.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
just want to put that out there.
Well, wait a minute, you can tell.
And I wasn't the catfish, believe it or not.
But let's say, like, you're catfished, and let's say you have to drive, like, I don't know, a half hour to this date, and you get there, and you realize, oh God, this, it's not the person I thought. Would you just go, you know what, fuck you, you lied to me, I'm out of here? Or would you be like, well, I drove all the way here, I'll just entertain this date, see if it goes somewhere? What would you guys do?
I'd entertain it. That's what I did. I went there for like 5 days, and I just enjoyed it, whatever, and came back, and then, I was like, all right, that's it.
All right, tell this story.
So, okay, I went to Canada to meet this girl because we'd been talking online, and she looked really pretty in her pictures. And so, spend like $2,000 or $3,000 going to Canada, getting a hotel room, everything like that. And I see her, and I'm like, whoa, she does not look like her pictures. I mean, I don't want to say anything too bad, but she was bigger, and she was losing hair in places where I was surprised by. She cut off her head, in the pictures and stuff. And but I was just like, all right, well, I'm here, I'm not getting a refund, so I guess I'll just play along and see how this goes. And she was nice and all, that was fine, but yeah, it didn't work for me. So after the week that I was there, I was just like, I'm not going to pursue this.
Wow, so you really took a leap. Man, I can't imagine, like, spending $2,000 for, like, like, even, like, let's say
You can't imagine spending $2,000, you cheap son of a bitch.
I mean, I would be hard pressed. Like, even if I FaceTimed her and like she was beautiful, like, and I don't know, I'd have a hard time like justifying, like,
Well, I mean, if you FaceTimed and you're getting along, I mean, at that point, I say fuck it. Yeah,
you would spend $2,000 for a date that might not go anywhere.
Well, I mean, not just one date. Like
I mean, you can have a lot of conversations before you fucking lock in the trip or whatever.
Yeah, now I would learn from
Now,
her.
did you ever consider like FaceTiming her or something like that before doing that, taking that leap?
I don't know why it wasn't a natural thought for me to FaceTime her, but I was just like, I trusted her. I was like, we talked on the phone, so, there was no FaceTiming, but, you know how you kind of convince yourself that there's a connection there, that, that's what kind of happened, actually.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, this day and age, it's like everyone kind of like has started to learn like the rules of like FaceTiming and stuff. But
that's true. I bet catfishing doesn't happen. Well, I don't know. It's still got to happen.
It still happens.
People avoid FaceTime. They just don't answer. And stuff.
They have excuses, or they're like, I don't have my phone. I don't have a good enough phone, or they have reasons. But
I feel like if I successfully catfish somebody, as soon as they saw me, they'd be like, nope, and they just fucking hit the bricks.
Some people it works though. You catfish them and they stick with you. You know, like.
All right, I'll try it.
I didn't tell you I'm blind. Everything's working out.
That was a good topic. All right, I think we're back to you.
All right, rolling into the last one. You guys see the pics of Giuliani this week?
Oh yeah, with his like Justerman hair dye running down his face.
I didn't see
He's going down both sides. Like he's at a press conference, he's getting all sweaty, and then there's just like
I heard about this.
It looks like fucking motor oil or something running down his face. Like, oh shit!
He is falling apart at the seams.
The T3000 is coming apart at the seams. This shit's about to get wild.
He asked Trump for $20,000 a week for his payment.
Well, he deserves it. So, if you can come on TV and say this is what he says: if you count the lawful votes, Trump won. That's $20,000 for me. That's the cutoff.
I hate Trump, but I will say that shit for $20,000.
Do you guys know his name is Rudolph?
Yeah, that's pretty.
I mean,
wild.
I would assume so. Anybody named Rudy, their full name is Rudolph.
I would never have just been. I mean, I understand shortening to Rudy, but I was not thinking Rudolph. But he's been on a streak, right? He had the Borat shit, where he's like, "Oh, I was tucking in my shirt," and then he's like, they had that press conference at Total Landscape 4 seasons. Now he's got this shit going on. Like he's falling apart, man. Yeah,
that guy's wild. Yeah, I saw somebody like do a TikTok and they were like spilling some sort of chocolate syrup or something over their
some Hershey's.
Giuliani, yeah, I mean, and plus, by the way, Trump said we'll talk about it when he told him like he wanted $20,000 a week. So if he gets paid,
he better get paid up front.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He's not gonna. But yeah, Rudy Giuliani, I don't know how he was. Like, people looked up to him. He was the mayor of New York, the mayor of America. Yeah. And, like, now he's gone from a respected figure to, like, being the weirdest, oddest little person,
Yeah, he does seem kind of weird and off and just a little... Yeah, just kind of like in a weird space. And then just he's been having a string of incidences.
Yeah, I mean, this 10, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have imagined this coming from him.
You think he's just getting older? He's just not keeping
senile, maybe
keeping it together quite as well. Maybe.
Definitely, age probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
You know how you were talking about how you can see why someone named Rudolph would go by Rudy.
Yeah.
So this new job I'm doing, like you see a lot of different names every day.
Oh
you know?
Yeah.
And there's the person's legal name and then what they prefer to be called. So this one. Like I'm not, for confidentiality, I'm not going to say the guy's full name, but his first name is just a very normal name that you would think anybody would go by, right? His middle name is Bernard. Now, he doesn't go by Bernard, he goes by Nard.
That's a college one. That's a college name.
Oh, like Nard Dog from
my Nard
from The Office.
Nard
but I was
dog.
like, man, that's terrible.
Man, I had a ride once with a woman who apparently had met Bernie Sanders. She called him Bernard, and I was like, Bernard? Mm-hmm. The fuck you saying Bernard? I was like, I finally pieced it together eventually.
It's like we're on a weird first name basis.
Yeah.
I worked at a gym where I had to call people and ask them if they wanted to update their payment information.
All right.
It was horrible. But there were like dudes with girls' names that I would call, and I'd be like, "Hey, is Kelly there?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Kelly's here. This is Kelly." I'd be like, "Can I talk to her?" Like, "No, this is Kelly." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Yeah, there's a few of those out there.
Dudes named Stacy and stuff.
Yeah, Stacy, Carol,
yeah. Ashley too.
Yeah, I've seen that.
As a dude's name, I'm like,
yeah,
it's terrible.
What are the parents thinking? They want a girl that badly, or what?
I think a lot of times it's family names, like me, of Lester. It's like, Grandpa was named this, you're gonna be named this. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, some of those names just that are supposed to be like, what do they call them, bisexual? They don't work that way.
I heard that like in 2020 there were 0 children named Karen in Canada. Like it's completely died.
That name, yeah, that name's kind of taking a downhill slope for poor Karens. I bet there's a lot of women named Karen that are like, why did they choose Karen? All right, so I just got one last stupid topic too. Yeah. Okay, if you were on a plane and both pilots died, you're put into the pilot's seat, and on air traffic control, the air traffic controller is talking you through landing the plane. Do you think you could actually land it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he talks me through it.
I just, you know what that reminds me of is like, I swear to God, like, I saw like multiple sitcoms when I was a kid where that scenario happened.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a common thing? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, so many stupid TV tropes out there.
There's another couple I wrote down too, because that's what it reminded me of. I've talked to you guys about this before, but like when I was a kid, I thought quicksand was like common thing like everywhere, because like so many shows, like especially like shows from the 60s or something, they always had an episode where people got in fucking quicksand. It like happened all the time. Quicksand. And then the other one, amnesia. Is the trope of a lot of old shows. Like people will get knocked on the head and get amnesia.
We knew people who watched like fucking daytime soaps, so that was I think that one was fairly common.
I mean,
but they did have it on a lot of those different shows too, though. Like,
oh, that just went off.
Maybe that's the end.
Yeah, it's back on, it's off again.
All right. Well, our video is blinking on and off, so if we have to fill the end of the time of the video with some screen, that's what happened. Yeah,
if you guys are listening to this in podcast form, you're good, but the YouTube video might be cut off just a little bit. So we will wrap this puppy up. One more time, guys, where can people find you on the Twitter?
A name for this too, and that's the number 2.
At unsolicited SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. ZACH is how you spell my name. So that'll do it for all of our shenanigans this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.